this entire manga and every manga on this channel is hand-drawn by myself, and now you too can learn exactly how
to do another
make
reaction,
your own
guys.
viral Dragon Ball mangas at www.makemanga.com, where you can learn directly from me.
This
My
is
mangas have got
Call
me
Me
on
Arj.
TV, on newspapers, and even earned me over $60,000 a month on Patreon alone.
Yeah, this is Call Me
Now,
Arj.
you can click the link in the description and pinned comment of this video and do it yourself. You only need to see the website to see just how many thousands of you are taking this opportunity right now. And don't forget also, the next video to this Ultra Vegito series has already been made.
I love this series that he made, man.
Patreon right now for
Y'all
over
definitely go follow him.
4,500 of you incredible
Go join his
fans
Patreon if y'all want
watch
to.
after this. Again, links are in the pinned comment and description.
Again, this is called Call Me Arj, guys.
So our story continues looking over the barren and red-tinged rocky surface of Sector 9 of the Demon Realm.
This is Ultra
In the
Vegito
sky,
conquers
two
the Demon
bright
Realm.
white auras, mid-flight, flying forward. And soon enough, we would be greeted with the sight of both base form Vegito
Sorry, guys.
and the legendary member of the 5 strongest, Yamoshi. Fresh off annihilating their latest demon emperor with the God Killer, turning to Yamoshi and saying, "Right, we've been flying for over 20 minutes now. This place seems endless, and I see no sign of civilization. Tell me, just exactly how far away are we from Sector 9's kingdom, huh?" To which Yamoshi, turning back, would just simply respond, "How am I supposed to know, kid? You know the story of how I was apparently beaten by Aiza. It's not like I've been here before. Right now, your guess is as good as mine." Huh? Your guess is as good as mine? And for a moment, Vegito would have a completely blank face as he would try to process what his supposed guide to the Demon Realm had just said to
I like
him
the comedy.
before. "What do you mean your guess is as good as mine? If that's the case, what do I need you for?" Damn God! Instantly causing Vegito to comedically react in rage, as yelling like a mother to her son, he would question Yamoshi's entire existence. All while the third would slow down, letting out a mousy whisper in fear. But eventually, looking down at the ground,
Bro, I got some
Yamoshi
like
would
great
have a
ideas for my
worthy
own manga.
response, saying, "Listen, me being here still has its uses. Though I may no longer know the exact position of the next portals, I'm still the only one here with some wisdom and common sense. We've been flying this long because I've been trying to find some other demons around here. Where other demons are is where information is. And as the new Demon Emperor of Sector 9, you'll be able to get it out of them." Right there! I see some! As looking out the corner of his eye, Yamoshi's eyes would widen, suddenly finding what he'd been looking for all this time. And indeed, as we would look from behind the two Saiyans, right in front on the ground, as Yamoshi would point, 4 humanoid-looking demons would be seen walking along in chatter. And so, without wasting much time, Yamoshi would be first to land on the ground behind them, instantly catching a few of their attentions before... "What? Look! He has no horns! He's a flesh pile!
He's a flesh pile.
Seemingly instantly changing their mood, as each now alarmed and with some anger towards the uninvited guest.
Sorry guys, I don't want to talk too much so y'all can hear the video.
Be here. Tell us who you are. If you don't, be prepared for us to tear you limb from limb. As soon now, like a virus, the anger and vitriol would spread amongst all of the demons, as they would begin to approach cautiously until... You'll do what to my elderly friend? Say that again, slaves. As suddenly, just as they would approach, a commanding voice would be heard from behind the third. As an annoyed Yamoshi, his eyes closed and a bratty face, he just respond, you know, calling me old 24/7 is starting to annoy me. I'm a god. I look younger than you, kid. Before Vegito would eventually arrive behind Yamoshi, just responding with a grin. Whatever helps you sleep at night, pensioner. Leaving Yamoshi with a less than satisfied look. My lord! It's him! It's the new emperor! But back with the demons, their tune would soon change once more. Now immediately all cowering in fear, ready to pee their pants. Beginning to tremble violently at just the sight of the god killer. My apologies, my lord! We didn't know this ancient creature was your friend! Please forgive us!
This ancient creature.
Before immediately remembering their place and bowing right away in unison for their new demon emperor. As a now given up Yamoshi, hearing their ancient creature comment, would just sigh, while Vegito would smirk saying, that's what I thought. I could get used to treatment like this, you know. Before then folding his arms, looking down and commanding, but get up already. I have a task for you freaks. I'm looking for my throne, but can't see a kingdom anywhere in sight. Take me to it, and quick. Too slow, and you all die here. Of course, my lord. I can take you there. As the young-looking demon at the front, like a star pupil, would immediately raise his head, ready to provide answers. As jumping to his feet, he would explain, it's no problem. You'll be there in a flash. Just give me 1 second. Good. Don't disappoint me now. And so, after a little while, once all the demons had got up, the same young monster would then place his arm on his chest with a strange hand sign, before saying softly,
Demon techniques. Hidden Kingdom!
And almost instantly, cracks would appear on the ground between them, before immediately increasing in width and circumference to create a giant, seemingly never-ending black hole on the ground. Pitch black, with not even a sign of what may be on the other side. But looking down at the hole, the Demon Slayer wouldn't exactly be unimpressed. Curious, in fact, as he would say, well, I wasn't expecting that. A kingdom hidden underground? Now, that's a first. But with Yamoshi looking on with Vegito, he would briefly comment, I did hear that every sector's kingdom would be slightly different. A unique oddity with each. Some could be dangerous, so best to approach with caution. Before Vegito would then just straight away jump in without a care in the world, yelling, well, I guess we'll have to find that out. Come, Yamoshi! And following on to his would-be master, Yamoshi would then jump in too. As a concerned look on his face,
Guys, Call Me
would then
Urge
appear
makes
as it
great manga
darkened.
chapters.
He would think, he's as brash as ever. But I suppose he of all people shouldn't have anything to fear.
I want to be on his level someday. I just can't draw worth of shit.
And before long, both Vegito and Yamoshi would find themselves on the ground
Telling y'all,
of
I
a
got some
new
great
kingdom.
ideas.
Pitch black in the sky, lit up only by a mysterious luminescence, as the row buildings around the duo would tower above them in regality, leaving the two to just gaze in awe at their architecture. Now this is a kingdom! As Vegito, still looking around with a big smile at his new possession, would place his hands on his hips and continue, much more fancy than Sector 10, even if it is a little dark. Now, time to eat. A place like this better have something good. What? But hearing this, Yamoshi, much like last time, would just interject saying, I told you already. You and I don't need food anymore. You have people to save and an escape to make. Remember your mission, kid. How about you remember who you're talking to?
God dang.
But with a swift response in a dark voice, as even his eyes would suddenly begin to glow red, the God Killer would remind Yamoshi just who runs the show.
See, his eyes are red because he absorbed
And
two
so
demons.
after some time, Vegito would have his way, and our scene would shift to seeing the God Killer himself, with Yamoshi sat at a royal table, scoffing away at a feast fit for an emperor. All the while, next to them, the royal butler, tea and plates in hand, as he would observe, asking, any more, my sire? Our stockpiles are near infinite for you, my lord. To which a stuffed-faced Vegito would just turn to him, and without any manners splatter out, of course, demon! This food is outrageously good! It's delicious! This meat especially, so flavorful and tender! What the hell is this? Leaving the butler to just calmly reply, I suppose you wouldn't have this where you came from, my lord. This would be the finest quality meat of all of Sector 9. The burning flesh of our lowest rank demons.
Wow.
I'm eating what now?
Wow.
Instantly leaving the God Killer with a look of pure disgust.
I didn't see that
and
coming,
uneasiness,
guys.
As he finally learns what was so different.
He's eating flesh.
about this tender
That's
flesh made from the bodies of potentially turned mortals.
what?
Just like him.
Pineapples.
Oh well.
That's
Food is
savage.
food.
He was like, I don't
But
give a
like
fuck.
a true Saiyan warrior, even such a revelation would not be enough to quench his hunger. Immediately chomping away again at the meat in front of him, all the while looking on utterly repulsed and sweating from his beastly nature. Yomoshi would sit quietly
Yeah, I would be
drinking his
disgusted
tea,
too,
just
guy.
thinking, this damn mortal. Before finally breaking the silence, Yomoshi would begin questioning Vegito. You've got me to waste my time waiting for you to stuff yourself. But at least tell me, what exactly happened back there with Sega? Wasn't your plan specifically to turn these demons into chocolate bars and assimilate their powers that way? You said if you did that, they would remain cocooned within you, with no effect on your powers.
See, he did that with the first
until you wanted
demon.
to make use of them. That's what you did with Aiza.
See.
Why not with Sega?
See, with him, he
But
absorbed
when
him like
Vegito
Cell.
would look back, almost annoyed that he would even be questioned, he would have an answer.
He has a point.
Replying, how observant of you, Mr. Third. Seems your eyesight hasn't got any worse in your old age, at least. What can I say? I just got carried away. I wanted to prove a point to that Cell reject about what Cell's abilities really were. But that was just a weakling anyway. His additional power, let alone whatever demonic evil he has, will hardly be affecting me. You can rest easy. But since you're so scared, I'll make sure to remember for next time. Okay, little man?
That's savage.
Leaving the thoroughly belittled Yomoshi to just look down in anger, biting his tongue, but inside thinking, hardly affect you? Yeah, right. I can see it having its effect even now.
Yeah.
Damn you, Vegito! But from the awkward silence of one scene,
Bro, out of
we
this
soon
whole
switch
series,
over back to Earth,
Bardock is my
where
favorite.
Demon King Miro would now be surrounded on either
That
side
and Gohan.
by not just Gohan, but Bardock.
I don't know,
too.
everybody's super powered up. That's why I like his
As
series.
Gohan with a smile would begin, you know, I don't exactly need your help right now, Grandpa. All that was just a warm-up. To which Bardock, smirking back, would respond, oh, I know, kid. I just thought.
Look how badass
in
he
my
looks,
old
guys.
age, I better start giving my old bones a move before they freeze up on me. Don't worry, I'll leave enough scraps for you. As Miro, while curiously observing Bardock's confidence, would just remark, I see. So now you too want to gang up on me.
Yeah, fuck you, dude.
Just as I said, you truly are no different to those other creatures.
Bro, he looks so
He's
badass,
no
bro.
different. Try me. But on hearing
See,
that
he's
final
using
remark,
Ultra Instinct
the
Omen.
primal Saiyan from the past
This is
would
Goku's
fly
dad.
straight in. His Omen Ultra Instinct still
Way
active,
better than canon. That's
moving
why I like
forward
the
at
Dragon Ball
insane
fan mangas.
speeds. And almost instinctively, as he would approach, his fist would raise up and aim straight at Miro, ready to go right through the Demon King. And on impact, with extremely clear effort all over his vein-filled face, Demon King Miro would be forced to block with both of his arms crossed together. Eventually pulling them apart to let Bardock's fist swing right past. fast. Before clenching his own fist, pulling it behind, as it becomes coated in a dark lightning before... But unfortunately, as he would fire out his own attack, with Bardock's Ultra Instinct intact, this level of fighter,
Bro, look
the
at him.
Saiyan would easily dodge perfectly, as an after image would be left behind as he does so.
Yeah, he has no
Like
chance
a
against
trained
Bardock.
racehorse approached from behind, Bardock would then hind kick Miro's chin instantly. So fast, his leg would already be pulled back before the demon's blood would even splatter on the Saiyan's armor. Sending the Demon King to flying backwards, as interestingly, Bardock would run forwards to gain some distance, saying as he looks back,
I mean, well, he is
"On
just a Demon
second
King.
thought, Gohan, I don't think this thing is even worth my time. You can have him." But not long after, even with the sudden precision strike, the Demon King would regain himself, his body trembling in anger and confusion at the feats he just saw.
Demon Emperor is stronger.
Those movements, those were no earthlings.
Or at least in this series.
He is what Lord Lucif desires. But in contrast, on the other end of the battlefield, Gohan would be watching on with intrigue, as he would reminisce. Wow, there's no doubt about it. That's Dad's dad, all right.
Yep.
Those movements were just like his at the tournament. Ultra Instinct.
Yep.
Meanwhile, though,
Like
it would
father,
seem
like
the
son.
Demon King would have finally calmed down, spitting onto the ground once more, the blood collecting in his mouth. Before, with a big sigh that visibly lets out
What is
smoke,
this guy gonna do?
would
He was
grab
just getting his
onto
ass whooped.
black garb, saying, Never did I think I would find what I was looking for on this planet. Find someone different.
You know it's
But
serious
you
when they
are
take off
most
his
definitely the one.
jacket or some shit.
You are who Lord Lucif desires, and who will bring me my rise to Emperor status. As ripping off his clothing, revealing the first
Oh, he's
signs
about to
of a
transform into an
mysterious
emperor or
tattoo
what?
behind it. With a maniacal look on his face now, it would
I
seem
ain't gonna lie, that kind of looks badass.
accompanying this would be an increase in power level, as Black Lightning
I wanna see Gohan
start
transform
to
into his
storm
final
around
form.
him once again.
And smash this dude.
Now, give me your soul!
That's ominous.
As in a flash, with a notable increase in speed as expected, Miro would shoot straight forward at Bardock, his hand outstretched in a claw grip as the lightning spirals around him. My soul, huh? Guess that's for that fancy tower Kakarot mentioned. As Bardock, grinning after being filled in on the demon's plans by Goku back on Kami's lookout, would remain steadfast, confident, regardless of any improvement made by the demon. And this time, the Demon King's attack would take a new form, blasting out in the form of a massive beam of black thunder. That's just as fast as you would expect. But nonetheless, it would still perfectly be dodged by the older Saiyan. And even as he would swipe his arm backwards to catch Bardock as he would move, this too would be in vain, as the Saiyan taunting him would continue to smile right in front of him. I'll end you! But as his backward strike would miss, it would continue to move along, round and round, as Miro's body would begin to enter a vortex-like spin mid-air. Let's see you dodge what you can't see, Earthling!
Demon Tornado!
Kind of reminds me of that one guy Goku faced in the Afterlife.
Miro's rotation
Pycon.
increased to such a point he would no longer be visible, just showcasing a powerful hurricane instead that creates a mass dust storm all around, as Bardock would face it head-on right at its epicenter. Oh, how interesting! You don't see techniques like this back on planet Vegeta, huh? But unfortunately for Miro, such a daunting, overbearing technique would simply have no effect on Bardock, as with a crazed stare and grin that seemingly never ends, Bardock's Saiyan blood would begin to boil with excitement before...
That's why I like Bardock.
Dodge what I can't see, huh? Let me show you exactly what I can see.
Oh shit.
As with his
Ominous.
one visible Ultra Instinct eye beginning to glisten, in great surprise, Bardock would jump straight into the apex of the Demon Tornado, with no fear, no caution, as he would outstretch both arms as though he were going to catch something. And with one hand up of his own in a clawed position, Bardock would yell as he would prepare to make direct contact with the vicious attack until...
Golly. Savage.
With one fell swoop, with an iron claw grip,
came up and gripped his
despite
neck.
Miro's rotation and the fact he could have been at any position at any one time, as soon as Bardock would launch his arm, he would immediately grab the demon by the throat, like an escaping chicken, instantly dispersing the hurricane in the process. Pathetic! And like tossing away a trash bag, unsatisfied with
You
his
choke a
opponent,
girl like that,
Bardock
she gonna
would
love
just
you
throw
forever,
the
bro.
Demon King to the ground, leaving Miro to crash to the floor harshly on his backside. Before getting up near instantly to tend to his throat.
I'm telling you,
Near
choke a
almost
girl like
getting
that.
crushed completely. Gasping for air, he would struggle to open back up his airways.
You're gonna see a whole different side of her.
But once breathing normally again, albeit with a grunt, as he would get up with a scowl, he would grumble, Your soul has to be siphoned! I cannot let this opportunity pass, nor let another emperor steal what is mine again! As suddenly, with his entire face contorting from how intense his roar would be, Miro would let out a scream that his entire body would seemingly power up.
It's time, mortal! It's time, you mad
When we would see what Miro was planning from a distance, now in his hand would be a suspiciously large ball of pure concentrated energy, bursting at the seams before
Your end!
unleashing everything he had summoned in one final blast. Within moments, Bardock would find himself now face first with a blast of energy that completely dwarfs him, surrounding his sight edge to edge. And indeed, even from Bardock's view, when looking from behind, his entire body would begin to just shine too, as only destruction awaits him in front.
Don't this remind you of Frieza?
You think this is my end? If only you knew the things I've seen.
Oh my goodness.
But once again, faced with one of
Bro.
Miro's greatest attacks, all this would be
The artwork
just
is
mere fun for the Saiyan.
honestly
His grin
speechless.
beaming somehow even brighter than the energy about to strike him. What? But in the end, his reaction would be meaningless anyway. Not given even the chance to show what Bardock was going to do in retaliation. Out of nowhere, a second beam would strike Miro's from the side, knocking it away instantly. And almost mirroring this, Gohan would finally show himself as the source of the countering beam, striking the demon himself from the side too, with a vicious flying kick right into Miro's ribs. As pleased with himself, Gohan would let out, "Did you forget I was still here? I'm your opponent, not him." Ultimately sending the Demon King to launch backwards uncontrollably into
That was
the
so
far
savage.
distance. His left side still stinging.
That's the Gohan I
with
love,
vibration
to
from
be honest with y'all
Gohan's
guys.
assault. Eventually skidding across the ground by his feet to come to a stop. His arm tending to his wound still, just yelling, "Coward! You are not what Lord Lucif desires. I will deal with you after." But Bardock was now vanished back into the background, reverting to base, would just respond,
Sorry, I was looking at my
"Dealing with me
shoulders.
is a little too out of your league, weakling. How about you try and handle my grandson first? Then I'll give you another shot. A Saiyan's word is his bond, so don't worry." As Gohan, now looking up at Bardock with a level of reverence, would say, "I had no idea you were that strong, Gramps, but at least you gave me an idea of how strong this guy is too. I'll be more than enough. No jumping in, okay?" "Out of my league! No more jumping in!" But such words
Bro,
from the
you're
two
just a
Saiyans
demon
would
king.
now begin to
You're no
completely
demon
boil
emperor,
the once
bro.
completely calm and collected demon. As such belittlement,
I mean, Gohan's
would
not
cause
even in
him
his
to
final form, so.
mumble, "You too have severely underestimated me, just like everyone has. But I'll show you. I'll show all of you!"
I have a feeling he's about to do something reckless.
As suddenly, Miro would now rip off the tattered shirt he was wearing.
See, I'm telling you,
removing
it
yet
gets
another
real whenever
piece
you
of
rip off the clothing.
from his torso to reveal more of this mysterious tattoo.
A new form, possibly. He's gonna blow himself
While
up.
grabbing onto his right wrist and closing his eyes, he would then launch into a subtle hum. as a smoky purple aura would begin to summon all around his muscular
New form.
body. For a moment, there would be a silence as Gohan and Bardock would watch on before... In a truly demonic roar, losing his pupils in the process, Demon King Miro would finally begin to show just why he believes he could be an emperor. His entire body and chest suddenly enlarging in a flash, hulking up unnaturally as his once dark tattoos would begin to glow a violent purple in tandem. And from behind, as his whole body would become encapsulated in a green energy sphere, his utterly humongous back growth would be visible to all.
He's been hitting the gym.
Mere seconds, Miro had near 10x his muscle.
That back formation though. He took some steroids, that's what he did.
Complete, the new Brolic Miro would be visible for all to see. His body and height stretched to the limit as veins would pulsate all around his new powerful...
Oh no, he's too bulky now.
Perhaps now he would be some threat to Bardock, but it would matter not now that he would proclaim... For your insolence, blindfolded earthling, your kin will die right before your eyes. But Gohan, ever confident in his ultimate form, would just give back a smirk.
See, he's just in his
thinking to
ultimate form.
himself,
Imagine if he went
This
into his
guy.
final form.
He reminds me a lot of Bojack. And we all know how that went.
Oh my
Before
god.
he too
What is
would
it?
Rip his own top off.
He was like, you know what?
Much smaller brain.